Yeah, man. All right, man. Welcome back to Football Artists. You with me, Che Yusuf. So we're going through in terms of the top news that we see in terms of the English Premier League for this month. And one of the first one, I think it was about what's behind the Arsenal mini slam. So definitely Arsenal has been, getting some, very, very hectic, criticism in terms of the fans and how they're looking of the team are moving forward. So it is perhaps a sign of the progress. Arsenal have made their two defeats, leaving the club 5 points off on the Premier League, a top spot. Prompt kindly of the introspection and analysis once reversed for the true crisis. But expectations have changed. And understandably so, after battling Manchester City for the title last season and another summer of the major expenditures, Arsenal are going to be challenging again, losing consecutive league games in a significant dent to their title race. Right, so that's actually the big news in terms of Arsenal. And Arsenal, they are actually saying that they are preparing to go in this summer, to jump in to actually. But let's hold on there and talk about what's going on with Arsenal in terms of going into the summer and trying to buy. So recently, I heard from the Michael Arteta, the coach of Arsenal Football Club, saying that they are actually preparing to look into a left back, to look into a defender, right? So that then we can buy a defender and come back. So I understand about the defender issue, right? Or defender problem that we need to bring the defender, left back defender, so that it can come in. But if the problem, if you look at it, these two past games in terms of the bone-clad Arsenal, is because of the central forwards, the forwards. Martin Elliott was not playing. Martin Elliott was not doing anything on the game of Fulham, the game we lost with the Fulham. If you look at the blood Saka was not even playing. He was just doing the same thing, going with the ball and try to cut back, bring to left side so that it can shoot. Everyone knows that move, bro. Like people, they're tired with that move. You need to do things that you were doing before. Take the ball like Thierry Henry penetrating, take the ball at the corner, drift, drift the players all the way from that side to the corner so that there can be a space for strikers Zabo Kentia to actually score. When talk about Kentia, waste Kentia the whole fucking uh, 80 minutes or 70 minutes. Kentia actually make five clear passes on the whole minutes that they were playing. Five clear passes, a striker, you know. Gabriel Jesus was whack, whack, whack. Was just falling. He came in. He actually didn't make any significant in terms of the forward. When it comes of creativity of moving forward, Martin Odegaard wasn't that bad. Comparing the first game that we lost, Martin Odegaard was fantastic on that game. Actually, that game, the only forward players, strikers, they're the ones who disappointing us. Saka was doing the same thing, trying to cut in and to put the ball forward, to put the ball in the back of the net. Martin Ely, he's afraid to. Martin Ely, the last season, he scored 11 goals. 11 goals. Today, I don't know if he has three or four goals. I mean, a player from Chelsea, a striker from Chelsea, you know, one striker, Palmer from Chelsea, his goals, I think he has 7 to 8 goals. His goals can actually combine the whole forward of Arsenal. I mean, what the hell, man? What type of football are we playing? You know. Then you tell us that your priority is to get a defender, right? Is to get a defender so that it can cover to defender. Okay, sharp. Let's leave the striker. Let's talk about the defense that Michael Arteta is talking about. On the defending, with it, we have Gabi there. Gabriel is there. We have Saliba. Gabriel and Saliba has been fantastic for all first first half of the season right now. Of course, there was a little bit of disconnecting between these defenders. But if you look at it, the reason why these defenders they were a little bit disconnected is not because of Saliba and Gabriel. They don't understand each other in football game. It's because of what is behind them. Is David Raya, right? Any ball that comes in the 18 box, Devin Raya, he can't touch, he can't do anything. It's a goal. It's a goal. Goal, goal, goal. Once a player get in the 18 and shoot, it's a goal. Right? So David Raya is not charging. He's not taking the control of the defense to say that, guys, there's a player, man on, mark this one, cover the space, and so on and so forth. Right? David Raya always save when the balls are coming from outside. I mean, it's not like the previous goalkeeper we had. What do you call the name? Okay, just forget it, because then they're no longer putting him on a first lineup. But Ramsdale, if there was a Ramsdale there, Ramsdale was saving everything. Ramsdale, when there was a corner, Ramsdale would jump and charge and actually punch the ball out. Ramsdale was fantastic. The goals that we were losing, we were conceding. Of course, maybe Ramsdale will concede 3 goals, but we eventually maybe won from that game. The goals that we were conceding, and you can see that really, really here, we have a challenge. So I think David Raya also, it's a problem. And Michael Arteta, he said he always afraid, on a past to actually make a substitute in terms of the goalkeeper. Now he wanted to have two number one goalkeepers so that whenever a mistake happen, can throw another one. And then what the fuck is going on? Why they can't put Ramsdale at the moment? Because Raya is not playing. Raya, the saves, the only save that I remember David Raya was the first game or second game that he played. That's where he actually produces fantastic save. Otherwise, it's the defense that they've been, solid. Julia Timber is gonna be, out all the way to close the end of the season. That's where he's gonna come back. He's not fit. He made a mistake. He played for the whole season at Ajax, and now when he come, Michael Arteta wanted to actually play him first time. They didn't even give him a chance to graduate bit by bit to a very fastest league, a very competitive league in the world. You are taking a player that plays the whole entire season, right? And you want him to play on a get go of the season. You could have graduated him bit by bit to get to the position. Zichenko also is becoming a problem. Injuries all the time, and is not actually, pushing or forcing to actually starting, producing what he's been producing. When it comes to who else, Tomiyasu also has been having a little bit of a problem. I think that's why the coach is thinking that bring the number, the left back at least. Okay, if you want to bring a left back, bring a left back, but don't say your priority it's the defender. The priority of Arsenal, it's forward. We need someone who's gonna be able to bang the goals. But at the moment, we don't have, someone reliable that we can see this guy is gonna be able to start banging the goals in terms of the, Arsenal Football Club. So yeah, man, that's what cooking at the bloody Arsenal Football Club. Very, very disappointed. So another top stories that I actually cut across. It's El Ten Hag, Manchester United, interim manager or backed by new owners. Is he going to be the interim manager or being backed by the new owners? So Sir Jimmy Clift and Sir Dave Brayford have started a meeting. People at Manchester United talks have begun with the Borussia Dortmund over a loan deal for a Jordan Sancho. Donny van de Beek has gone for the Frankfurt. Sergio Reguilon has returned to the Tottenham Hotspurs, and the several forward have all been linked with the clubs. Victor Lindelof and Alan Van Bees have had also the 1 year extension option in their contract triggered. United have negotiated a late AFCON release of Andre Onana and also Casemiro and Lisandro Martinez, both back in the training. And the manager Eric Ten Hag is also under varying degrees of pressure depending on who you ask, right? So they said depending on depending on who you actually ask in terms of Eric Ten Hag to be the interim coach or to be actually a permanent coach. Right? Have we missed anything? Oh yeah, Manchester United lost away from the home again Of course, it may be the same old chores at the Old Trafford, but the Manchester United actually podcast says a talk of devs have returned with the Iron Irving Roller, Wadwell, Carlo Anka, and Andre Martin trying to make sense in terms of how they're gonna go forward of the team. So the Grazers are out now. Sir Jimmy Cliff came in. Jimmy Cliff will come with his boys, his entourage, shaking up the Manchester United in terms of also structure of the players. Some of the players that they were there, they want to release them and bring actually some new players. That's why there's also a talk about the coach, that should we leave this coach at the moment as the interim coach, or should we actually leave him to finish his contract as a permanent coach. So that's what cooking in terms of Manchester United. Has been a lot of stories. For other episode of Football Attitude, we actually explain in terms of how Glazers they actually want to offload the duty in terms of running the football to Sir Jimmy Cliff. Jimmy Cliff now it's in, so the talks has already started began. Another interesting news: Armando Broge eyes on his Chelsea chance in a Nicholas Jackson AFCON absence. Right, this is the opportunity for Armando Broch has been waiting for. One he knows he must take. His week, Nicholas Jackson flew out to join up with his Senegal squad to prepare for the Africa Cup of the Nation campaign. Should a Senegal make it to the final of February 11th as their hope, and the Chelsea beat a Petson North End in the Sunday FA Cup third round tie, the forward could miss up to the 8 Chelsea games. Right? So if this happened, obviously Nicholas Jackson, a lot of people they think Nicholas Jackson is from America, he's from Senegal. So he's going back to Senegal, in fact, to actually play on the Africa Cup of the Nation. We're gonna cover the Africa Cup of the Nation, news in terms of the players, who is fit, who is actually performing very good, and so on and so forth. The stories about Africa Cup of the Nation, there always be a story because it's happening on the DRC. So we want to see the peace side of DRC, how things are actually gonna go on of Africa Cup of the Nation. So Nicholas Jackson is going on Africa Cup. He's gonna be playing in Senegal. So again, these are chances that Broja can take. Again, even Christopher Nkunku has made a full appearance following a knee injury, but is not regarding as someone who lead the line. If anything, he can. Broju is the one who can be able to actually take over the striker. Because if Chelsea win the FA quarter round now, that means they're gonna jump into another round, and there will be over 8 games, including English Premier League, to be played. That they're not gonna have the striker in terms of English Premier League. This is something that I wanted to add because I know football these days it's actually associating with a lot of guys trying to bet, trying to actually take their chances to gamble in terms of football. So a little bit of fixture that you can look forward in terms of today. It's actually Brentford versus Wolves is playing today. Fulham versus Rotherham. Spurs is playing versus Burnley. They actually, actually playing today. All these teams are actually playing today. So those are opportunities to those who actually bet. You can try to check it out. What is going on in terms of games that are happening on Friday. But I also wanted to look into the odds. If you're a guy who trade, who bets, what do you look when you are betting in a football game, right? Do you look on the odds, or do you go just because of that specific team, or the strength of the team, so that they're gonna be able to win? So these are other interesting topic when it comes to football. For example, I'm looking at one of the Betway here. I need a sponsor, Betway. Sponsoring you, I need a sponsor, pushing you for Mahala. Betway, there's a fixture there, Italian game, Perugia FC versus Gino. And when you look at the odds, Perugia FC is 2.02, and when you look at Gino, it's 4.30. Now, what it means is that the team that has a lower odds, that's the team that has more probability of actually winning the game. So in a France Cup, there's FC Cambrio 2.21 odds. Again, Racing Club 3.15. So that means FC Cambrio is the one that has a little bit of strength that can bring a little bit of possibility. Portugal Premier League, Sporting Lisbon is playing is 1.23 odds against Estora Prial, which is it has 10.00 odds. That means Sporting Lisbon is more stronger than Estori PR. So some people can bet like that. We look at Brovist, Tapoto, and versus FC Porto. FC Porto, it's 1.43. Drovista Porto sitting on 6.80 odds in terms of the odds. And that's another interesting. It means FC Porto, it's really, really strong. Again, when you look at the friendly games that are happening, Eddie Akokoni versus CD Lagenes. So this one it's interesting. The odds is 3.06 against 2.25. So it means the balance is not that much, that big. The distance between these both teams is not that big. It means both teams they have all possibility that they can be able to actually win. So yeah, man, so this is another feature that we wanted to add on the football artist, because football it always involved with people betting, people gambling, or people putting some money. So just to bring a little bit of a knowledge in terms of the odds when you're actually checking your game on whatever platform it is. I don't want to say the platform before you guys starting paying me or sponsoring, man. But yeah, man, this is the platform that you can sponsor so that we can bring all those odds numbers and teach people how does the odds mean and how they can actually capitalizing by understanding the odds of the teams and be able to start making a good money out of the game. So keep subscribing, keep watching it. This is Football Artists, additional channel at the Daily Money Markets. Yeah, man. Thank you very much for tuning in.